I love refrigerators.
Well, howdy. Dearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up, and, well, as stated, welcome to a brand new day. It's pretty warm out now. It's going to get warmer, and then it's going to start raining this afternoon and this evening, so we need rain. One thing, I took a shower this morning, and I noticed, it doesn't look this bad now, if you compare. But when I'm taking a shower and I hold my arms up to my body, yeah, they're already the color that they would be getting around August when I was younger. But now it's just become May, and I need to get some solid sunscreen or I'm gonna burn hard. Thumbs up. Also, checking my list over there, I have a community meeting today, and it is 10:55 right now. I need to go purchase things at stores and such, make walkies, but I have a community meeting at 2 o'clock because we're in a community, and so can't go out and do too much because that's going to happen. And with my bone spurs in my right heel, I can't walk all that fast, so I can't misjudge the distance and then make it, have to rush and hurt myself or just be late or not make it. Don't want to do that, so I'm going to be sticking around inside the room here more than I like today, but you got to do what you got to do. I have not yet plugged in my PlayStation. I'm going to do that afterward. I'm giving it plenty of time to dry. I can't imagine things are going to go well, but maybe they will. So, we shall see. Thumbs up on that. Yay! Past that, not been doing a whole lot. Played that Fallout New Vegas stuff yesterday. Got it going. Started recording. Yeah, Dean Domino. Bad man in the game. Really. Talking to him in-game. He was booked. Band leader. Dean Domino and his swing band. Sinclair is the guy that made the entire casino. And Dean Domino had a plan to ruin the man, steal everything he had, and destroy his reputation. And all because Dean Domino thought that Sinclair thought he was better than Dean. So Dean was going to show him that no, Dean was better than Sinclair, and that there are some things that you get knocked to the ground down from, you can't get back up from. And that was going to happen when the bombs fell. So Dean Domino is not a good man, but I love him so much. So thumbs up for that. I wish I'd had a better speech before I went into the DLC, because this lack of a proper skill is leading to negative outcomes for everything. But such is life, you gotta do what you gotta do. And also been playing just more Fallout 3 on my own, and I'm accepting quests and then just basically ignoring them and running around the countryside looking for interesting things. So it's not me so much, it's the character. She's been in a vault her whole life. This is all new and fascinating and weird. Sure, she's got quests. This is a whole new world. So she's out just doing that sort of thing. Just like my character in Fallout New Vegas, squirreling around, just, oh, I'm gonna go do squirrel, and then do that instead. She doesn't know the woman that died. She doesn't know that woman that Benny killed. When she got shot in the head, that was it for the person that got shot in the head. When Doc Mitchell put her head back together, she's a new person. She knows what the old person looked like because she sees that person every time she looks in the mirror. She knows what that body of the person looked like because she's wearing it. But she feels no real connection to that person. or the whole world. It's fascinating and bizarre, so she's running around and doing stuff. Sure, she's got quests, but it's a fascinating and bizarre world, so she's looking at it. So thumbs up for that. Yeah, and so I'm going to be hopefully getting some... I want to play the introductory... The whole Under Falling Skies game looks like a lot when you take it out. But it's not, at least for the introductory part. The campaign is more, but you have... It's a long, thin playboard. And I mean it's a long, thin playboard. It's long. I have a coffee table type... I just spouted everywhere. Coffee table type thing that I bought and showed off. It's, you know, one of those cheap end table things. You know, they're wide-ish. And it's longer than that. So it's a long but thin game. It's only like this wide. But there's the board you put it together, the long thin board. You've got a couple of tokens that you throw onto it. And then past that you've got plastic pieces for the ships as they're falling. And then you're moving just a couple other little tokens. There's not a lot of pieces to it. So, and the game phases are pretty quick in that there's the place your dice phase, and then your resolve everything of the things phase, and then do the mothership phase, and then it goes back over again. That mothership falls fast. And again, it's kind of like Space Invaders, and that, yeah, the mothership keeps falling and keeps spawning ships that keep coming down to crash, or, you know, it looks like a crash because they hit the ground and then you put them back up in the ship to respawn. So, good, and I want to play that, but there's a whole campaign that fills up like this much. Of the box is this big, and the campaign fills up this much. And it's a whole bunch of really thick but bundled together bits of cardboard, and they say, do not open until it's time. So, thumbs up, gonna do that. Checking the rest of my list up there. One of the things that I've been continuing to think on, because even though it's just for a solo RPG thing, I can't help but put 1,000 pounds of work into something that should only be an ounce. You know, more information and such. I'd use names and words when I was playing 4 Against Darkness and such, because there's no orcs that you would fight as bad people in dungeons in the game setting I have. Or goblins, that sort of stuff. But there are Koth, which are the animalistic, degenerated descendants of a branch of the Apani. So they are completely animalistic, and they're kind of verminous, and they've spread onto a lot of continents. So they deal with them on Lanloa. They got to deal with them on Karthkog. That's just life. It's like they're kind of like treated as rats. They're not intelligent. They don't even really have thumbs anymore. They just have little nubs, and they're eventually, if they last long enough, well, they'll become like quadrupedal, lose their bipedalism entirely. Thumbs up for that. And then there are 2 other races that were in the main book that I went and called like Ox and Oblins, but I'm going with Ock and Obel. And the Obels are another branch of degenerate Apani. Went a different path, but like the Koth that are going downhill, the Obel are also on a path going down. A different branch. They're not like the Koth. They're degenerating in a different way. But there are a different thing. There were the Ock. Now I figure since there's no real of the traditional stereotypical orcs and goblins and such, they'd be more like a lizard-like race. Where, if you remember, and I don't expect you to, the people that live on Karthkog, they have 2 words. There's Hulat, people, and Akhulat. That's like animal, an animal, a horse would be Akhulat. Kavek, cave trolls, they have no intelligence. They are Akhulat. Koth, they are Akhulat. They are animals. They're not people. Now, let's try and remember where I went with that. Oh, yes, so the Obels and the Koth are both degenerating into animals. The Ock, the lizard-like things, the Orkani consider them still Akhulat, but they're trending upward. They're right on the cusp of gaining sapience on top of being sentient. Sapient, just basically, that's the being aware that you're aware, where you can think about thinking. You know, cows and cats and dogs and people and, you know, most birds, some marine animals are sentient. They have that dim sense of I, but they can't think about thinking. You have to be sapient for that. The Auk are right on the edge of that. And so they generally aren't aggressive. And if they aren't, the idea is don't press it and make it a threatening situation. But if they attack, you gotta defend yourself. Which again, along with the whole, you know, where the Hulat have traditionally looked at everyone who doesn't come from their continent as Hulat. And so the Goya, the Lanlua, the Dwarlan, the Elvandri, they've been traditionally Hulat because they're not Hulat. They weren't born on this continent. But the more recent generations especially, generally all of the Hobbs consider the other races to be Hulat as well. A growing number of Apani consider them to be Hulat, and a small but growing number of Orkani, especially those who have not given up on traditional ways, but are living in urban areas and so have exposure, are considering them Hulat and not Hulat. So things are changing, just like things do change in life. It's just a slow, gradual change through exposure. But it's on its way. Yay. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that again soon here, the Far Against Darkness, and then splitting off. There's another RPG system I want to try out. I've wanted to do Scarlet Heroes with a bit of white box thrown in to supplement it. Now Forge, which stands for Fantasy Open RPG Game Engine. And so it's generic fantasy. You fit it to yours. So I'm going to be taking a look at that. It's stated, I haven't stated it, except for another day maybe. It is like OSR and BMX compatible, or BECME, which all is, OSR is just old school Renaissance. There's a whole lot of new games that are using the old rule sets, and those are all the OSR stuff. And then BECME was beginner, what is it? Expert, master, champion, immortal, for the way older, like 1980s stuff. And so BMX is beginning, master, expert. You know, a lot of old systems before, which were all D&D before they codified into the whole. We're just only going with one system thing. But it's compatible with that while being its own system. So, thumbs up. Yay. So that's what I've got going on today. I want to go walkies on the trail and out and exercise because I don't want to die. And so even though my heel is killing me because of bone spurs, which is just projections of bone out where like your tendons and stuff have to rub against them, and oh, that frickin' hurts. So I got to deal with that and try to walk. And one of the questions, I want to talk to my doctor now, because of the whole, you know, they have found that the mortality statistics of people who have silent heart attacks is about the same as those who have had loud ones, and that half of them are dead within 10 years. I have never had anybody who has taken an EKG ever mention that I had had some form of older, hopefully older, myocardial infarction. In fact, though, if my doctor hadn't mentioned it to me, no one would have ever mentioned it. But how far back does that go on my EKGs? Because I've had a fair number in the past couple of years, and nobody has ever said anything. Now, this is not just my doctor getting a wild hair going. It's other doctors have written in stuff about, oh, there's this, and it's like, well, this is the first I've heard about it, so I gotta ask my doc about that, because it's like, well, is there anything I should or shouldn't do? One thing that he did say, he suggests, when I was talking about should I take aspirin or not for my heel, he was just saying, take one 81 milligram one, which is, that's the medicinal dose for a heart issue people. So, is this for my heel or is it for something else? On the other hand, I'm on a lot more ibuprofen now. 3 times a day, I'm supposed to take 3 200 milligram tablets. That's 600 milligrams 3 times a day. At that point, you go from just it being a non-steroid, well, a pain reliever to a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. You actually got the anti-inflammatory effects from it, but you got to take it in large enough doses. So, okay, now I'm taking more. At the same time, he said that even people who have severe liver damage can still safely take up to like 2 grams of Tylenol, acetaminophen in a 24-hour period. I have been taking like 3 500 milligram tablets, 1500 milligrams in a day. I'm not going to increase that. My liver is doing great. There's no signs of distress. But when you take a look at it, it is fatty, and it is fatty and fibrous. Sorry, I'm having difficulties speaking English today. My apologies. Well, ever, this lifetime. But it is fatty, it is fibrous, but it's working like a trooper. So thumbs up on that. Well, it is almost 18 minutes in, and I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Later on, I'm quite sure I'll think of stuff to say. Like, I'll put on a community post about what goes on with my PlayStation. So, thumbs up on that. So, if you are a Patreon patron, thumbs up and thank you. Your help is appreciated. I wish my nerve compression would allow me to be able to do enough keyboard manipulation that I could put your names up here. But when you look in the mirror, you are beautiful and awesome people. You couldn't even see my hands up like that. You put your names up here. And when you look in the mirror, and until I can do that, know that you are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up, thank you. It is appreciated to no end. For everybody that leaves me a comment, thumbs up and thank you. That too is appreciated. I wish I could answer as many as I want to. But still, know that I read as many as YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and I heart as many as I can, so they are appreciated to no end. And of course, if you've watched this far, if you could type Mercury in the comments to let YouTube's algorithm know, good old algoritmo, know that people do in fact watch these videos. Thumbs up and thank you. Any form of interaction, you don't have to type that, just interaction is awesome. And for everybody that does watch, again, it is appreciated to no end. So thumbs up. So, until we meet again. I say so too many times, but life is life. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. So yeah, I was gonna go out because I need to get to Walmart and buy stuff, so I gotta take my walker, but I wanted to get this done because I got the community thing done, and I am a slave to routine and habit, so you break that up and oh, it's a mess. You take care.